Children, welcome to our social studies class. Please beta open our page number 64. In previous video we have done India location and extent. So we have started this chapter, location and size we have done, then we have done political division of India. Now we have started with the physiographic division of India. We have done there the Great Himalayas. Now we are supposed to start with our northern plains. So let's read this first. The northern plains of India is formed by three river systems, the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. The total area of the plain is about 7 lakh square kilometers. The plain is composed mainly of alluvial soil which has been deposited by the flowing rivers over millions of years. Because of the three rivers, the Indus and the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, the availability of water is in abundance there. The region is agriculturally very productive and is therefore densely populated. The northern plain is divided into three sections: the Punjab plain, the Ganga plain and the Brahmaputra plain. So what is told in this, that our northern plain is again having a total area of 7 lakh square kilometer, and again it has a very good alluvial soil with it because of rivers are flowing over millions of years. Then it is formed of again three rivers with the Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Because of these rivers, the northern plain is having a good source of water. So water is in abundance with this northern plain. Because of the water, again agriculturally this area is very productive. So as we know, we have a good source of water here. We again good production of agriculture. Because of these reasons, this area is densely populated. Now this area is divided into three portions, that is your Punjab plain, Ganga plain and Brahmaputra plain. We'll study with the Punjab plain. Again Punjab plain forms the western part of northern plain, means it lies in a western part of the northern plain. On the west side it lies. It is formed by the Indus and its tributaries, and which is the main river over here, Indus, and its tributaries are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas and Satluj. Major portion of these plain is in Pakistan. Next comes our Ganga plain, comprises of the states of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, part of Jharkhand, West Bengal and Union Territory of Delhi. So where this Ganga plain lies, it again it lies in the Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and part of Jharkhand, West Bengal and Union Territory of Delhi. This region is again drained by the Ganga and its tributaries Jamuna, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi and Teesta. These are the tributaries of Ganga. Yamuna, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi and Teesta. These all are the tributaries of again Ganga. Because of again fertile soil, agriculture flourishes and even this area is very densely populated. Next comes our Brahmaputra plain. Again, Brahmaputra plain forms the eastern part of northern plain. It is mainly drained by the Brahmaputra river, which is later joined by Ganga river. Both these rivers drain into Bay of Bengal, forming a large delta called Sundarbans Delta. This region is usually wet, swampy and marshy because of the fertile soil deposited by two rivers. Again, fertile soil deposited by the two rivers. This area is very wet. So let's study from here with the help of this flow chart. Again, Brahmaputra, where it lies, a Brahmaputra plain lies in a eastern part of the northern plain, and which is the main river flowing here, that is Brahmaputra river is flowing here. Later it joined by the river Ganga. Okay, and then finally after joining with the Ganga river, these two rivers again drain into which area? Bay of Bengal. Okay, and again which delta they are forming? They are forming the delta of Sundarbans. Okay, and because of the fertile soil deposited by the two rivers. This area is very wet, swampy and marshy. Next is our children Southern Plateau. Southern Plateau is tableland which contains igneous rocks. It is broadly divided into two regions, that is Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. One of the important features of the peninsular plateau is a black soil area which is known as the Deccan Trap. The black soil originated from the volcanic eruption there. So this southern plateau, this lies here, this area, okay. This is your southern plateau, again divided into two portions, Deccan Plateau, and this is given here also. Just see very carefully. This is, you can, I think easily you are able to see, this is your Deccan Plateau. Got it, children? This area is your Deccan Plateau. Then we are having this full area is your Southern Plateau. This full area is your Southern Plateau. Okay, let's study about this Southern Plateau now. Come here. This Southern Plateau again is famous for its igneous rocks. And what is another name given to it? Peninsular also. Peninsular Plateau. Okay. And again this Southern Plateau is divided into two portions, Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Again, important feature of this plateau is the black soil. Again, this black soil is known as a Deccan Trap, and this black soil is originated from a volcanic eruption. Now let's study again this separately, your central and we are going to study about now Central and Deccan Plateau. First comes our Central Plateau. It lies to the north of Narmada River. It covers a major portion of a Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand and Chota Nagpur Plateau. The rivers in this region flow from southwest to northeast direction, okay, indicating the slopes of Narmada River. Its slopes is from west to east. Satpura range makes its northern part, while the Mahadeva, Kaimur Hills and Mekal range make its eastern part. It extends into the northeast, and Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills are prominent ranges there. And this is your physical map of India. They told us that our Central Highland lies in the north of Narmada River, and it includes our Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand and Chota Nagpur. And they told us that Satpura range makes its northern part, means Satpura range lies in the northern part of Central Highland. Okay, we are not talking here about the India's map, we are talking about the Central Highland map. Okay, then they are saying us that while the Mahadeva, this is your Mahadeva, then Mekal range, okay, it comes in the eastern part of Central Highland, and Kaimur Hills also. Kaimur Hills we are having here, Kaimur Hills also. This also comes Mekal range, and Kaimur Hills comes in the eastern part of the Central Highland. Okay, children, then it again extends from northeast, and prominent ranges here are Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. Okay, and this is your full data Central Highland. Okay, Eastern and Western Ghats. The Eastern Ghats stretches from Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. Their width varies from 100 to 200 km. No big river originates from the Eastern Ghats. However, the Eastern Ghat is about 600 meters above sea level, and the highest peak is Mahendragiri. Next is your Western Ghats, stretched from Tapti River to Kanyakumari. Its average width is about 50 to 80 kilometer. It is a source of many big rivers. The Western Ghats are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. The highest peak of the Western Ghat is Anaimuddin. So just see with the help of this. Again, this Eastern Ghat. Again, one important thing in your Eastern Ghat is that it does not have any big river here. Means no big river originates in Eastern Ghats. If you find in other, we have so many rivers which are originated in a particular area, but in Eastern Ghat we do not have any big river which is originated here. Again, this Eastern Ghat stretches from Mahanadi to Nilgiri Hills. Its width varies from 100 to 200 kilometer. Okay, somewhere it is 100 and till 200 it is wide. Then it is again divided into several parts by large rivers. Okay, this Eastern Ghats is divided by a very large rivers into so many parts. And again, average elevation of Eastern Ghats is 600 meters. Then your highest peak of this Eastern Ghat is Mahendra Giri. Then comes our Western Ghat. Again, it stretches from Tapti to Kanyakumari. Average width of the Western Ghats is 50 to 80 kilometers. Highest peak over here is Anaimuddin. If you want to see in your physical map, you can see beta here. Here, this is your Eastern Ghat. I am showing you. This is your Eastern Ghat. This is your Mahanadi. It stretches from Mahanadi to here, which Nilgiri Hills. Okay, this is the area of Eastern Ghat. Then they told us Western Ghat. It must lie in a west only, beta. If it is Western Ghat, this is your west only. So this is your Western Ghats. Okay, and this is your Anaimuddin, which is the highest peak here. Okay, children. Next comes yours, beta. Coastal plains. The Deccan Plateau is surrounded by narrow coastal plains on the east and west. The western coastal plains is the thin strip of coastal plain with the width of 50 km between the Arabian Sea and the Western Ghats. It is divided into three sections. The Konkan, that is Mumbai to Goa, in north. Kannada Plains makes the central part and Malabar coast stretches in the south. The eastern coastal plain is a strip of coastal plain with the width of 130 kilometers between the Bay of Bengal and the Eastern Ghats. It is divided into two parts. The northern part is called Northern Sircars and it covers the West Bengal and Odisha. The southern part is called the Coromandel coast. It contains the deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Chilka Lake is an important lake along the eastern coast. It is the largest saltwater lake in India. Children, see, this is again your physical map. Here we are going to locate our coastal plain. So Deccan Plateau is surrounded by narrow coastal plain, west and east. This is your eastern coastal plain and this is your western coastal plain. Okay, and here again the width is almost 50 kilometers, sorry, Arabian Sea. This is your Arabian Sea, western coast I am talking about. This is your this area, this green area is your western coast. Okay, this one is your western coast. I think it is very clear to you, green in color. This is your western coast. Okay, the again width is 50 kilometer, means this width is 50 kilometer, 50. Okay, it is again divided into three portions. This is divided into three portions. Okay, how? First is your Konkan. This is your Konkan from Mumbai to Goa. Okay, from Mumbai to Goa, this is your Konkan. Okay, then is your Kannad Plains. Okay, and your Malabar coast. This is your Malabar. This is your Konkan. This is your center portion is your Kannad, and this is your Malabar coast. Then comes your beta eastern coastal plains. This portion is your eastern coastal plain. Okay, and here again width is 100 to 130 kilometers. This area width is 130. Okay, between Bay of Bengal and Eastern Ghat. It is divided into northern part, which is also called as, what we call the northern part, northern Sikars. This is your here given also. This is your Coromandel, which is your second portion. Okay, southern part of the this eastern coastal plain. This one is your Coromandel, and second is your Northern Sirkars. Hope you all got. And we are having here the largest saltwater lake, which is called as Chilka Lake. So next comes our island regions. India has two groups of island, the Lakshadweep Island in the Arabian Sea and Nicobar Island in Bay of Bengal. Lakshadweep Island, these islands lie in Arabian Sea about 300 kilometers away from Kerala coast. These horseshoe-shaped islands are mainly made up of corals. The administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep is a Kavaratti, which is also its capital. These islands form the Union Territory of Lakshadweep. This group of islands is richer in terms of biodiversity. Next comes our Andaman and Nicobar Island. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are located in the Bay of Bengal. They are made up of about 233 small islands. The northern cluster of islands are known as Andaman, and the southern cluster is known as Nicobar, with Port Blair as its capital. The islands are located close to the equator and thus experience equatorial type of climate and have a thick forest cover. This is your Andaman, this is your Lakshadweep Island. Okay, Lakshadweep, this is in Arabian Sea. Okay, the again it is how much away from Kerala coast? 300 kilometer away. Or this is again Kavaratti is a administrative headquarter of, which is also a capital of this island. Actually, administrative headquarter is also lies in Kavaratti only. Next is your this one. This area you may say Andaman Nicobar. So Andaman again it includes how many small islands? 233 islands. So it is also near to the equator. Because of this it enjoys the equatorial climate. And second important thing in this is that Port Blair is its capital, and the Andaman again this is the Andaman upper portion. Northern area is called as an Andaman, and the southern cluster is known as a Nicobar. Means this down portion, this one portion is known as a Nicobar, and upper portion is known as a Andaman. Got it, children? Now let me show you the full map of your just see. This is your Western Himalayas. This we have read. This is your northern plains. This is your Indian desert, that is your Thar desert. This is your central highland, again divided into two, northern and south. This you are not going to study. This is only enough for you. Central Highland. Okay, this is your Deccan Plateau, in which this area, I was telling you the width. This is a coastal plain, eastern coastal plain, and width varies. Here see, it is too much wide. Till here it is very small. Again, it is not that much wide as it is here. So this is your east coastal plain. This is your west coastal plain. Okay, children, and this was all. So let's start with our again exercises. Come to the first exercise of our syllabus, that is your fill in the blanks. India is the second largest country in Asia. The Tropic of Cancer almost divides the country into two parts, northern India and the Deccan and Peninsular India. India is officially known as a Republic of India. The Himalayas run in west-east direction from Indus to the Brahmaputra river. The India Desert is also known as the Thar Desert. Hope you all have felt it. First is your Asia, then Cancer, Republic, Indus, Thar. True, false? The Indian landmass has a central location between East and West Africa. False. It's Asia, not Africa, beta. The standard meridian of India passes through Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. This is true. India is the fifth largest country in the world in terms of area. False. The Great Himalayas are called Himachal. False. Andaman and Nicobar Island are made up of 233 small islands. True, now only we have finished it. The highest peak of Western Ghats is Mahendragiri. False. The northern part of eastern coastal plain is called Northern Sirkars. True. The administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep is Port Blair. False. It's Kavaratti, beta. Answer in one or two words. Part of India which includes the states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal and Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Island, Eastern India. The outermost range of Himalayas, Shivaliks. The type of soil deposited by flowing rivers in northern plains, alluvial soil. The delta formed by Ganga and Brahmaputra before draining into Bay of Bengal, Sundarbans Delta. Next is the horseshoe-shaped island in Arabian Sea, which is the Union Territory of India, Lakshadweep Island.